Well, here I is, and I sure feel good.
Oh, you feel good, do you?
Yeah, I was just out of the pen.
All right, now that you're here, what can you do?
What can I do? Oh, boss, what I can't do ain't.
Well, who are you?
Who is I? I was Bosco. That's who I ain't nobody else except Bud.
Bosco, eh? All right, Bosco, show me what you can do.
Okay, boss, what's this here? Who's all them folks out there in the dark?
Why, the audience, Bosco. Can you make them laugh?
Got a piano?
Yeah, here you are.
Right there. Ain't that a heck of a move? When there is gray sky, I don't mind the gray sky. I still had you, sonny boy. Hey, where's I at? Dang, I was really drifting. Sonny
You'll go back to the pen for that.
Well, so long, folks. See you all later.
And one fish, two fish, and one fish, two fish, and a red fish, blue fish, and a red fish, blue fish. Okay, that seems fine. Okay, that seems fine. So get rid of that echo. We'll come over to CUTB and we'll just hang out and watch Coachella. Coachella is on, baby. No, we're going to my channel. Let's go to my channel. Even better than Coachella. the Chris Cox YouTube channel. Hello, Saturday, making 3D stuff on a snowy April day. That looks good. Let's check that video out. Hello, Saturday, making 3D stuff on a snowy April day. All right, the YouTube is checked out. I don't know what I'm doing. Because I'm pretty much finished. I'm just doing the promos now for the swimsuit we've been working on for the last couple of weeks on stream. I probably should download and re-upload all those videos to YouTube and put them in order or something. But I won't do that. I won't punish you with that on stream. I think I was working on another swimsuit. And there's the Rocket Gal. So let's take a look at where we left off with those. I was having issues with the collar on Rocket Gal. So but I think maybe we'll get back and we'll fix the helmets so the collars look okay. And what I'm thinking of doing is I think I'm just going to delete stuff and maybe reshape it a little bit, but we'll see how that works out. That is the current plan, and then I can maybe move along with that. I think the adjustment morphs are in the Rocket Gal outfit, and the base morphs for the body shapes are done. I think what I need to do is special morphs. I think that's going to require moving to the undone one. So, I mean, a lot of it's done, but I just got hung up on the helmet not quite working the way I wanted it and pushed it off to the side while we did 3 other projects instead. Or maybe 4 other projects. I have no idea now. So Meadow Muse got a little delayed waiting for the texture add-on to get done. So I'm not sure that'll get out in April. That'll probably be May, which means maybe 4 releases in May. Dang. Well, then that means I'm going to have a Sad 2 release April. Hum. What am I doing? Let's launch Daz. And let's work on that helmet. And then we're going to do textures. I got a bunch of the textures set up for another swimsuit. I'm calling that the Synth Swim. So I think maybe we'll play for an hour and a half with the Rocket Gal, and then we'll move over to doing materials for this other outfit, which is just basically kind of a simple one piece. But I think it's going to look nice when I get I have weird ideas for different exciting material sets. So anyhow, hello Daz. Let's go take a look. Let's first go over and maybe I can get some of the thumbs knocked out for Rocket Gal. So we'll do that. So Meadow Muse is done. I hit submit on that this morning. I did actually submit it, but then Dad said, hey, where's the other part? I said, I don't know. So that got put a little on hold this week. Servant outfit did hit the store earlier this week. Sporty Swim. I'm working on the promos, so Synth Swim. I actually did start this just before Sporty Swim, but Sporty Swim's been going nicely on stream, so that went smooth enough there. So, but I'm looking at Rocket Gal. Rocket Gal is, and it's called Starheart or something. Dang, it's so far behind. There it is, way back here. You know what? I'm going to move this down the list so that I don't have to scroll up for it anymore. We're going to move it down here. So we're going to adjust our content directory manager. Come over here to Daz. Apparently there's 70 of these things. I should probably clean that up at some point. Anyhow, I'm going to take Starheart and we're going to just move it down the list to the bottom. So I'm going to, here we go, click to bottom. There we go. We accept that. This is going to do its refresh thing. There we go. It just makes it easier to find. And let's just So there is the complete outfit. We have the pose for the feet, and we got the boots. I have the bubble helmet, which I'm going to redo, so we're going to bring that up. We have the gloves, which are pretty much done. I have a harness, which could probably use some special morphs. I don't know if I need to. I think I'm going to put a buckle on the harness, aren't I? That is a wearable, so that means the buckle's probably on it right now. There is the rocket pack. We have tights and the tunic. And then we're also going to make an openable version of the tunic. But right now I want to focus on, so here, let's do this. Let's load in. I think I took a peek at this earlier this week, but other than that, it's been a couple of weeks since I've actually looked at this. So you get to be tortured by watching me try to figure out what I was doing. There we go. And then I'm going to take you and plop you on there. And I'm missing some stuff. So we're going to undo that, and we're going to load in the individual items. Let's stop asking. So here, let's redo. Let's undo that. And let's do this with individual items. So the boots. So I got to put textures on those boots and resave them. The bubble helmet. That one does have textures on it. The gloves currently have textures on it. I think the harness does come with the rocket pack and belt buckle on it already. She's just going to have simple tights that'll just pull up and pull down. And then we got our tunic. And I do have the buttons all set up on the tunic. So that's in pretty good shape. There's probably a morph fitting this. Let's check that out and dial that in. Probably in adjustments. Nope. Is it in actor somewhere? Fit. Fit pants. It's probably adjust for pants. I totally had one of these for the and these need to be cleaned up. Maybe I didn't do that. Anywho, let's work on getting the helmet to work better. And what I'm thinking of doing is I think I'm going to cheat and maybe just delete off this part. I want to see how that looks. If that looks too stupid or not. This is the part that isn't playing nicely. Right in here. So maybe, do I have... So maybe if I just make that invisible... Oh, there's this little... What are you? I have a little strip on the inside that seems not attached to anything. Yo, Art, how are you doing today? You are... You need to be assigned to another material. Because you are currently assigned to... So I'm going to fix that. But does that look okay? And what I might do is then just use the geometry editor to delete this off. So one of my problems is this thing is a little, so we're going to fix that. All right. I'm doing okay, Art. Good to see you, man. We got snow. It snowed last night. I took about 1.5 inches or 2 inches off the car. It's all wet. So the weather said it didn't actually get below freezing, although some of the temperatures around town look like it might have been a little below freezing. But right now it's above freezing. So it's and it was wet. It's just a wet, heavy, messy snow. Snow Bunny heard that. Snow Bunny gonna run up to New York now. Snow. By the time she gets here, though, it'll be gone. All right, I gotta assign this to the right material because I'm on the wrong material with that. So let's come over here. Let's do a little geometry editing. Let me see if I can select that, and if we could just expand. Nope. Actually, did I get the right stuff? I might have gotten the right stuff. I can't tell. You weren't supposed to... Yeah, I don't want you to... Oh, it's because it's not actually... Okay, here we go. I made it invisible. I didn't actually make it non-selectable, so we're going to fix that. She says, smiling, thinking about it. Here, hold on. I'll get a picture and post it in the gallery. I'm going to get a picture now before it melts anymore. Hold on, I'll be right back. And then I'll post it into the gallery for tonight. It'll take me that long to figure out how to get the damn picture off the phone. Okay, I got a wet, messy snow picture. Coming back. Put the phone back over there. Get my ears back on. Make sure my chick share is good. All right, what am I doing? I'm hiding this material right here, and I'm not sure which one are you. That is not it. Dude, Snow Buddy's got to see those snow pictures. Cloth. I think it's cloth. I'm going to select cloth and hide that. And then I think I can do this. There we go. And that should be part of cloth. So we're going to assign that like that. And then my question is, do I think my helmet's going to look fine like this? I think I might be able to get away with it, and it gets rid of that stupid issues I'm having with the collar. And I think it still looks okay. I mean, there is a gap. I don't know. Problem is when these collars get bent up. The coat is getting clipped into part of the helmet, and I don't like that. You can still only go so far with this thing. Because let's face it, that helmet's not bending. Oops. See that? I'm just going to tell you, don't do that. And you aren't attached to anything. I think that's going to work for this. You're not attached. Why are you not attached? What the farfignugan? Oh, because you're attached to the damn boots. All of these guys went and got themselves parented to the boots. So let's fix that. We are looking for fit to. Something in here is going to say fit to. Fit to. There we go. I'm going to fit all of this to. There we go. And accept that. Should be better. Let's take a look at how the posing is looking on this now. So when the arm goes up, let's be realistic. It can only go so far before you have issues. Please note the collars can only bend up so far before they start hitting the immovable helmet. Yo, it's Mr. Charles. And I got you command, Charles. There you go, just for Charles. I think this works.
Chris, pay attention.
There you go. So Charles can now use that command to get my attention. And I'm hoping I set it so that only mods can... Oh, my camera's still closed. There I am. I stepped away for a minute, so I closed the camera. I think we're good. I think I'm going to do that with the helmet. So I think that's going to be my solution. Let me check some posing. I thought I had a morph to fix the pants to fit the boots. Also, the boots don't have textures.
Chris, pay attention.
What? Dude, what? What is it, Charles? Did little Timmy fall in the well? Again? All right, let's what am I doing? Let's save the boots. Control Shift E. We're gonna reset this. You had to try one time. Of course you have to try one time just to make sure. Until I need it. But you can't hear it? I can hear it. Did Art hear it? Art, did you hear the Chris pay attention? Is Salami working? I'm going to turn my volume on and see if I hear it on the Chris pay attention. Is Salami working? I'm going to turn my volume on and see if I hear it on the Chris pay attention. Is Salami working? All right, testing Salami now.
Is that a salami in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
All right, testing Salami now.
It's a salami.
Is that a salami in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
Testing Salami now.
It's a salami.
Is that a salami in your pocket, or are you just glad to see me?
Yeah, I mean, I hear Salami fine on Twitch. Let me check it again. Let me just make sure. Yeah, I mean, I hear Salami fine on Twitch. Okay, here goes Hey Chris. Let me check it again.
Chris,
Let me just make
pay
sure.
attention.
Yeah, I mean, I hear Salami fine on Twitch. Okay, here goes Hey Chris. Let me check it again. Let me just make
Pay
sure.
attention.
Maybe I need to crank it up just a little bit. I think we'll do that. It might be a little low. Let's do that. Maybe I need to crank it up just a little bit. I think we'll do that. So we're using. I found this streamer bot earlier this year. So just ignore the echo. So we're going to come into actions. I found this streamer bot. Hey Chris, play action. Ignore the echo. So let's make that a little louder. Let's double the volume on that and see how that works. Play action. Let's make. No, I don't want to close. Let's double the volume on that and see how that works. Now we're getting the weirdest round of echoes in there. No, I don't want to close.
Chris,
Now we're
pay
getting the
attention.
weirdest round of echoes in there. No, I don't want to close.
Chris,
Now we're
pay
getting the weirdest
attention.
round of echoes. Yeah, it's still a little quiet for you all. Let me crank it up a little bit more, maybe. Yeah, it's still a little quiet for you all. Let me crank it up a little bit more, maybe. Maybe I should have normalized it or something when I saved it out. Let's try this. Maybe I should have normalized it or something when I saved it out.
Chris, pay attention.
Let's try this. Maybe I should have normalized it or something when I saved it out.
Chris, pay attention.
You know what? I can probably. You know what? Let's just crank that to 100. Actually, I'm just going to do 80. 60 was almost good. Let's just crank that to 100. That's perfect. I'll take that back to 60 then. We'll reset you. Going to do 80. 60 was almost good. That's perfect. I'll take that back to 60 then. There we go. 65. We'll put that off to the side. I'm going to get rid of this echo in the background. I think we've got that dialed in. Salami was sounding good. And we got Hey Bud. I'm not sure how Hey Bud's sounding. I'm going to turn Twitch back on and see how Hey Bud is sounding. And we got Hey Bud. So that's one of the new ones too. Hey Bud's sounding. I'm going to turn Twitch back on and see how Hey Bud is sounding. And we got Hey Bud. That's one of the new ones too. That was too much. Is it Hey Bud or Hey Buddy? I can't remember now. Hey Bud.
Hey, bud. Let's party.
That sounds fine. That might even be a little too loud.
Hey, bud. Let's party.
Yeah, that came across fine. All right, we're good. All right, back to screwing around with 3D stuff. We'll add more sounds next week. You promise you'll only use that if somebody asks a question I don't see it. Yeah, no worries, Charles. I think I have it set for mods only, I hope. I'm sure I will find out when Art tries it. So if I don't have a morph for these pants, we're going to make one. I'm going to resave this. Let's work on the boots. I'm going to resave the helmet like this, I think. Yeah, so let's do that. So let's first things first. I've tweaked the helmet just a little bit, so I'm just going to resave it like that. Come over to the content library. The helmet is being saved as an accessory, so I'm going to do it this way. Save as a figure prop asset. I think this is in my pulp folder. Starheart, Rocket Gal, outfit, people, Genesis 8, clothing, me, Starheart. One of these should probably say helmet. There it is, bubble helmet. Yeah, I want to replace that. Starheart looks good. That looks good. Accessory head looks good. So over here, we're just kind of got to do the same thing. Accessory head. And accept that. Yo, Acellus, how are you doing? Did that save? I think that saved. Okay, we're going to save the boots. And I want to save the boots with the pose. That was on the wrong thing. So we're going to do that. I don't want to save with the straight legs, but we are going to save with the feet posed. Enjoying the sun. I'm jealous. How come Scotland gets sun and I get overcast and snow? Doesn't seem right. Because I know you're way up there. You're like right next to the North Pole, right? Just a couple of miles west of Norway. My brain stopped. All right, I need textures for this. Didn't say hot, said sun. Okay, fair enough. I don't even get the sun. Do I have materials set up for this? Do I have boot? I'd say I got, here's my materials are all done. So this should just be able to go on like that. And then I'm just going to save this out as a material preset with the pose. So we're going to save, click on that, come back over here, do this. I'm going to save that as a wearable preset. We're going to save the boots. And then what I'm going to do is uncheck everything but the boots. And then what I also want to save a pose. So we're going to come over here to the pose tab, say includes pose. And I just want to save the feet, the feetsies, the footuses, those things at the bottom of the leg. So left foot, right foot, and accept that. Should be, it's doing its thing. Thank you for that shout out, Charles. I was hanging out in the garden earlier this week. Y'all should check out that garden. It's a cool hangout. There be Scottish dragons, I've been told. I think I saw some this week. Did that not do anything? Control D. Why is my Control D? There we go. Okay, let me figure out where that morph is for fitting that. Do I actually have this saved somewhere? Let's see if we actually saved that. Let's go load morph targets. Activating Morph Loader Pro. Choose morph file. Let's go. Yep, we're navigating again to the Pulp folder and the Starheart folder and the Whip folder, and maybe somewhere in morphs is a fit. There's a fit gloves. Maybe I don't have a fit pants. I need a fit pants. That's what we do. So here, let's make a new folder. And these are actually tights. So I'm going to say tights G8F. And I'm going to cancel that. We're going to save out our pants. We're going to put a morph on here to get this to fit into the boots better. Let's select that. Let's come over to here. Turn that back to base. Mesh smoothing. Let's turn the mesh smoothing off on that, and let's export that out. And yep, once again we're over in the beach party. So navigating. There we go. There. Whip. Morphs. Tights. This is gonna be the tights. GAF. I should save out the boots too. I don't have to be as careful with the boots. But I am going to anyhow. It's their setup base anyhow. Alright, so we're going to save the boots. Save that. And that's all I need right now. I already have a Genesis saved. Accept that, and let's pop Blender open here. They are cool. They're fancy boots, ain't they? All right, Blender's open. Actually, I might be able to just do that with ZBrush. Oops. Do I want to use ZBrush for this? I'm leaning towards not to. You know what? I am going to use ZBrush actually. We're going to ZBrush this. I didn't really need to open, so we're going to make this morph with ZBrush because it's just a simple smoothing. It's a little easier just to do it with ZBrush than it is with Blender. If ZBrush will oblige by opening for us. I think I see it opening in the background. There it is. ZBrush. Get that in here. We can't see anything right now. Pop into edit mode, hit frame. Let's do that. Of course, you've popped over there. So we'll just arrange it so that it's not covering chat. I can kind of see if somebody says anything. And I got the wrong thing selected. We have the boots active right now. Let's try this again. Select the tights, then select the boots, then go to ZBrush and see if that works. There we go. That's what we wanted. I'm going to make that a little smaller. Tweak the intensity a little bit. And you know what? We're going to remember to use the mirroring this time. And then, is it Alt? I'm just going to do that until that pops inside the boot. Should be good. Just give it one more. And let's see how this goes. Activating GoZ. I'm going to call you Fit Boots. And I don't have another one in here. Where do I want to put you, though? Let's put you in adjustments. Not sure how to take this, but TSA just approved traveling with fresh eggs. Yo, Irumakin, thank you for the raid, buddy. It's good to see you. And there is Chan the Magic Man coming in hard with the raid call. A couple of awesome streamers. Hey, Primordial Sounds, good to see you. We are working on an outfit in Daz Studio. I am just adding a morph to it, so I'm going to accept that. It looks kind of like this, is what we're working on. So I'm about maybe halfway through with this to make it into a Daz product. So many parts, I'm going to be kind of jumping around. Right now, I've got these tights that are not fitting in the boots, so we just added a morph to fix that, so we're going to see if that worked. And where did you go? There they are. This is totally in the wrong spot. And thank you for those shout-outs, Charles. Did we... I'm pretty sure Charles shouted out Irumakin. And I think maybe the second one was Chan the Magic Man. Yes, follow them both. They're both awesome. Irumakin streams like a couple thousand times a week. I think basically every morning and every evening you can catch Irumakin streaming with the chill hangouts. There are Kinder Eggs, there's Words on Stream, there's Lego builds. And we have even been to the Dairy Queen. My Dairy Queen closed. The owner retired, and I think they're going to put in a Popeyes. And why was there something exciting happened and I missed it because my chats are moving too much. Hold on. We have ways to monitor. We have the technology. That is the wrong browser. Hold on. There was a gift sub. Okay, was it from Charles? It had that gift sub from Charles sound to it. I'm lost in space and time. Charles, thank you for that gift sub to your Irumakin too. I appreciate that, man. Somebody's whispering at me. Oh, it's Ray. Was that Ray? Oh, it reminds me. Dree's got a streamiversary coming up towards the end of this month. So y'all should check out Dream on Music. She is an awesome music streamer. I think she's coming up on, I want to say, 5th year streamiversary at the end of April here. So she's planning a big soiree party. And you all are, of course, invited. And I forgot what I'm doing. Oh, I'm over here. I'm going to go here. I can do this mod view thing. And I can see what actually happened. And now I can hear myself in the background. We're going to stop that. So Charles gifted 2 gift subs. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Let's see if this morph works. I think that morph works. I think I should save the pants like that. Although this is in the wrong spot. That actually needs to be over here. So we're going to move this to this category right there and accept that. So that should be good there. I got the boots resaved. I'll have to resave the pants. I gotta, you know what? Let's start organizing stuff to save. So we'll start with the pants and we'll clean up all our morph arrangement. Then I'm going to save that out. Then we're going to do that with the boots. Then I got to do that with the tunic and the harness maybe, and possibly the helmet. So let's start. I'm currently working on these. So, and you know what? I'm going to memorize them. Actually, I want to hide these boots for a second. How is that looking? That looks fine. Those colors are a little weird though. I probably should. We'll do this. We'll apply the proper color to this. And I do have, I've got all my materials done already. Here, we'll do the khaki tights. Ooh, happy nightmares. Welcome. How are you doing? It takes a little practice. Not gonna lie. I didn't wake up one day able to do this. Well, actually I did, but it was after like years of working with Blender and Daz. And then one day I woke up and I said, hey, I can do this. But there was those years that comes before that, waking up one day and saying, hey, I can do this. You're doing tired and sleepy. I was that way, but I had to get up. Me and my buddy went out to BJ's this morning. And who in their right mind names a warehouse store BJ's? I don't know. I guess the same person who thought BJ and the Bear was a good idea. Nowadays people are going, what? What did he just say? What the? Who's doing what with a bear? But those of you who know. That's how skill works. That is kind of how skill works sometimes. Do they sell Hummers? What, at BJ's? Ouch. Dun-dun-dun. I'm gonna get my boots back in here. We're gonna work a little bit more on these pants and get them saved out. Then we're gonna get the boots into a little bit better shape. I hid my boots. I want to see my boots. There's my boots. We're gonna go back to the tights. Okay, we're gonna clean up the organization on the tights. So right now I've got stuff in this thing called adjustments. I don't need these in here. So we're gonna move these. Here, I got to get into edit mode for this. You haven't had to get up yet. I was thinking that this morning. I was sleeping really well when I looked at my clock and I was going, it's 10. I'm supposed to pick up the neighbor at 11. Drats. And there was snow. I didn't even want to look outside. Fortunately, it's wet and sloppy and I was able to drive through it. Okay, we're organizing stuff. This category here, these need to be arranged. Those shouldn't be there. These are body controls, so we're going to move them. I'm going to set the property groups for those to be down here in actor, full body, real world, and I'm just going to hide those down there. Okay, now we're going to come into here. And I have this stuff that says adjustments. I'm going to get rid of that. We're going to move this. And also we're going to change the name because FBM Expand All is a crappy name. We just wanted to say Expand All, so I'm going to do that. Oops, I forgot to move it. Let's move it. Let's go ahead and put that in this adjustment category. You got weird circadian rhythms. Oh, it's funny. I read it. It was weird. But I think it's because I saw weird, then just automatically popped up and read the rest. You'll be better now because it's getting close to 2 p.m. I did get my 8 hours in. I will admit to that. That doesn't happen a lot. Are we doing stuff? We are doing stuff. Okay, we're going to color a bunch of stuff. We're going to rename a bunch of stuff. We're going to make sure limits are set on a bunch of stuff. So let's do, I'm just going to grab all of this. We are in edit mode, so I can do all of this stuff at once. We're going to enable limits on all of this. A bunch of this is hidden. These have got crappy names. They're left over from when I converted it. So we're going to clean up the names on these. So users should not see something that says body underscore BS underscore loosen ankles. They should just see loosen ankles. So we're just going to edit all these labels to be more human. Loosen buttocks. I think I can use that. We'll loosen the knees. Gonna change that. Uh-oh, getting up. You didn't get your 8 hours this time. Slowly, one foot comes and hits the floor, and the second foot says, nope, we're going to stay here. And then you get in an argument with it, and eventually it hits the floor. I could be wrong. I loosen thighs. That looks better. And loosen waist lower. Okay, those are good. Okay, so I don't need to do this, but we're going to change the colors on these because it makes me look professional. So we're going to set the presentation on that. And these are generally the colors I use for the adjustment dials. Ooh, look at how fancy that looks now. So I think I've cleaned this up. Let's go take a look at some of these other categories just to make sure I don't have something weird hidden out here. I think that's fine. I think these are good. I think that's fine. I'm going to memorize this, so fit boots is on by default. So let's do that. Come over here, memorize figure, and then I'm just going to save this again. So I'm going to save that as a figure prop asset, and I'm going to overwrite tights right there. Save that and say yes to that. And Starheart types G8. This is a pant. This one I always have to set because Daz likes to punish me this way. All these extra clicks. Days of my life gone with those extra clicks right there. Accept that, and then I'll get saved out. All right, let's clean up and save the boots. And the boots we're saving as a wearable preset. So now we're going to take a look at here, actor. What do we got in here? Starheart boots G8 female. Do you do anything? I don't think I need that, so I'm going to try to remember to kill it later. But for right now, I think we're just going to hide it, just in case I'm wrong. So I'm just going to stick this. We're going to make it hidden. And I'm going to move that to this hidden category over here, where users shouldn't be looking anyhow. Don't look. It's hidden. Okay, anything in here I need to worry about? I don't think so. Let's take a look at here. This just has an actor and adjustments. I eventually will need to make some more morphs for this. But for right now, all it has is expand morph on it. So I'm just going to tweak that, give it a proper name. And I can change the color in here while I'm at it. So I'll do that. I'm probably going to add some more adjustment morphs later on, but for right now, I think that's going to get that cleaned up nicely. And that gets saved as a wearable preset, so we're going to do that again. I'm in the wrong folder. Come over here. Because I want to save the pose with this. Do that. Say yes. Uncheck everything but the boots. Come over to this tab. Say yes, we're going to include a pose. And I'm just going to save the feet. I know we already did this once, but we're doing it again. And then we'll go check out the gloves and resave those if I have to. Okay, so that's done. Moving on to the gloves. Let's take a look at where we left off with those. I think that's just going to be fine. The only thing on the gloves is just an expand. Oh, you know what? The boots probably don't have a limited expand. So we're just going to clean this up because, you know, FBM expand all with no limits is a really crappy morph. So clean that up to see. And we're just changing the label, not the name. And this is good. I'm going to go ahead and check click use limits there. And since we're here, we'll also change the color of the dial. And accept that, and that's probably good for right now, so I'm going to save that out. We'll take a look at where we are with the tunic. So for the gloves, I'm going to say yes to that. This is an accessory, hands. Actually, do I have a gloves category in here? Actually, there's a gloves, so we're going to call this gloves. Wardrobe gloves. Actually, there's a wardrobe headwear too, so maybe I'll resave the helmet that way. Okay, we've resaved these gloves, and then we got to do all this for Genesis 9, because that's how I like torturing you all. That looks like I may have tweaked it nicely. Has that got its limits on? Yeah, the harness is all done, I think. What's over here? Yep, that's not something I have to worry about. Do these have limits? Yeah, the harness is all set. I think it's got its adjustments. These are all limited. So I don't have to do anything with the harness. That's good. Let's take a look at where we left off with the tunic. The tunic might actually be done. So let's just take a look and see if we've got any morphs hidden somewhere that shouldn't be there. Oh, this even has some of the special morphs. See, we have hanging morphs. It's like it's on a hanger. You're holding it with one hand, and then we have a couple for the ground. And this looks like, you know, these special morphs should have special colors though. I was probably going to do that later, but they'll look something like this. So my special morphs are usually colored like this. There we go. So if I come here, we scroll through, the special morphs got this little reddish, adjustment morphs that got the green. These should be hidden. So I'm just going to save these because these are the only things we changed. So we're going to save that as a modifier or asset. And I'm going to say base, and we're just going to select the ones we want to save. So we only changed these, so I'm just going to save them. Okay, should be good. Did I resave the helmet? I thought I did, but I wasn't paying attention. Let's check. Do I have any? I don't have any morphs in the helmet yet. I think it's going to be fine. I'm just going to resave it real quick and then move on. And then when I can resave the whole outfit again. And then we're going to go and spend time screwing around with the Genesis 9 version. So for this one, I might go ahead on stream and set up the very beginning of the undone version. Right now, this is a done version. There is a little strip or two in here that holds the front closed. On the undone version, we're going to delete that out so it'll open up. Anyhow, let me save this helmet once more just to make sure we're good on that. And then I'm going to save the whole outfit. Bubble helmet right there. I'll say yes to that. Oh, you know what? I did want to change this. Do I get a wearable option in here for a head? Wardrobe. Headwear. Yeah, we're going to call you headwear. And then I need to set the category. So we're going to do the same thing. You're going to become wardrobe headwear. And then I'm going to accept that. And then we're going to save the whole outfit. And then we'll take a look at Genesis 9. And then we'll come back and do the undone versions of the tunic and get those started. And then I have textures I want to put on another swimsuit. And then we're back tonight, Saturday Night Social. Feel free to join my Discord. If you dump stuff, feel free to join the Discord and put stuff in the gallery. Saturday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We do a Discord chat. We do a art share, and also there's an old cartoon, so I got to find an old cartoon. I'm currently trying to find free stuff from 1929. There's been a bunch of Mickey Mouse cartoons. Mickey Mouse had a lot of cartoons in 29. A couple from 28, I believe. But 29, Mickey Mouse was really rolling in gear, cranking them out, being that creepy little dude that gave Minnie nightmares. All right, saving the outfit. You know what? I'll make thumbnails too. We'll do that. So before we go to Genesis 9, we're going to render out a few thumbnails here. And by a few, I mean 9. And I think I've already got a thumbnail folder set up because it looked like my material files were all done. And what am I doing? Saving as a wearable preset. My button is right over it. There we go. And I'm going to save right over that one. And I'm going to say yes. And there we go. Everything is checked. Should be good. All right. I'm going to see if I can find a... See, that looks like I was rendering thumbnails. So we're going to open this up and then render out these 9 thumbnails for this. Then we move on to G9. Let's do a file. Open recent. No, let's do file open. Do I want to save changes to this? No. I'm being bold. Promos. So do I have Starheart folder set up already in here? Starheart whip. There, I do have a thumbnail file. Look at that. All right. Hey, I got boots. It looks like it was last thing I rendered must have been the gold boots. Let's put the that's the default boot. I can use this for the boot thumbnail. There we go. Let's save that. Nope, I'm in the wrong spot. Here we go. In here. People. Genesis 8 female clothing. And I just rendered the boots, so we're going to override this tip file right here. Okay, I'm going to resave this as a hierarchical pose. So do I have a... I don't see a Genesis 8 in here. So let's get a Genesis 8 in here. Mamloss, welcome. How are you doing? pirate booties. No, they're Sprocket Gal booties. This is definitely what you wear when you're rocketing through space. All right, I'm going to save this as the thumbnail for the foot pose. We're going to change the colors on her. I'm going to make her my generic. Let's come over here to surfaces. Let's select her. Let's put my generic shader on her. When you're a rocketing pirate. Arrgh. Avast you scarvy dog. Let's render that. Let's save that as the foot pose thumbnail. I'm going to resave the foot pose. Right now it's just a pose. We're going to save it as a hierarchical pose. So if you have the feet or the boots selected, it will apply the pose. Save last render. That's going to overwrite that one right there. Say yes to that. Let's get these boot back in here. Let's put the boot on the Genesis 8. I'm in the wrong thing. Come over here to parameters. Mish fit to. And I'm going to fit you to Genesis 8 female and accept that. Okay, the boots have got a pose on it. That's why they're looking funny. So we're going to reset those. And now I'm going to save an H pose. So I think I select that. Come over here, and we're just going to do instead of a pose preset, we're going to choose a hierarchical pose preset. And I'm going to override this right here. And then we're going to, do I have this set up right? I do. We're not posing anything in the boots. So I just want that to be in here, so if they're selected, we will still pose the feet of the figure. And I'm going to check only. Actually, here's how we do this. I forget. I'm going to expand you out. We're going to check the parts we want to save, which are the feetsies. The footses down here. So let's do. Where's my thing? There's my thing. All right, I want to do left foot. Actually, I can do that. And I don't want that. Dang it. Let's try that again. Let's try it. You. Don't. Why are you being a butt? Don't be a butt. Can I unselect that? Yeah, I don't want the thigh bend. I don't want that. I don't want that shin. So these are what I want to be posed. And then we can come over here. Let's try this again. Hierarchical pose preset. I'm going to overwrite this foot pose. I'm going to say yes. Okay, we're not really posing anything. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to check scene selected only. There we go. So this has only selected the things that we have selected over here. And that's what's we're going to save the pose for. So there we go. Patiently wait. I'm going to reset this figure and we're going to test this out and make sure it works the way it's supposed to work. We're still patiently waiting. This is what I get for not turning the content management system off. Long save times. We're not doing it. There it is. It's saved. Okay, now I'm just going to reset you. So you should go back to flat feet, although you're slow. Resetting a Genesis 9 for me is slow because I got so much crap in there. Okay, now we're going to do this, and we're just going to see these feet get posed. So if I do it like this, feet get posed. If I have the boots selected, they should also pose the feet. So if I have the boots selected, our feet still get posed. And I'm not posing the legs. This only poses the feet. Before I was just using a pose that would pose the legs because it's just easier to work with. Okay, so that's done. We've rendered this thumbnail. Let's do, I'm actually going to straighten out these legs now. I think you get to be 6 and you get to be, and I still have, I'm still in edit mode. I'm going to get out of edit mode here. Okay, we're out of edit mode. Let's get the rest of the outfit on her and we're going to do the outfit thumbnail. So, going to put the helmet on, the gloves, the harness, rocket pack. I don't actually need to bring that up because it came out with the harness. The tights and our tunic. Okay. Let's do that. I'm going to back that up a little bit so we've got the whole outfit in frame. I'm actually going to hide Genesis 8. We don't need to see her because I just want to thumbnail that. Alright, let's render that. And right now we're actually rendering the tip files, but then we're going to resize those to be the thumbnails. There we go. An official 256 by 256 DAS tip file. That was the wrong button. No, that was the right button. Yeah, you go there. Already exists. You want to replace it? Hell yeah. Alright, moving along. We need the bubble helm. So let's hide everything but the helmet. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, the rocket pack and the buttons are still there. Let's try this again. Let's do that. Makes those go away. Let's do that. So we control click, makes everything that's attached get hidden. And let's zoom in on the helmet. Let's render that. That HDRI I'm using is really colorful, isn't it? That's where all that orange is coming from. There's orange and blue in that thing. Alright, looks good. Save that. That overwrites that one right there. My gloves look like they were rendered already. Looks like I did a bunch of these. I must have overwritten something. Actually, let's take a look. Do I need... I need to re-render this. I have this is done. Although honestly, I should do that with the rocket pack and the buckle on. So we're going to re-render that. That glove looks good. Rocket pack looks fine. I don't think I have to render the tights again. So let's save that there. And what did I just say? I think I need to hide the bubble helmet, and I have to re-render the harness. Because this one's got the rocket pack on the back of it. That's probably good enough. It was almost done anyhow. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to overwrite this one right here. And I think, what did I say? Rocket pack was good. Tights are good. We just need to redo render the tunic. And the tunic has the buttons on it. And there we go. I'm going to render it like that. Looking good. Let's save that. Okay, let's make nice thumbnails out of these. So we're going to browse that folder location. I'm patiently waiting for Windows to do something. Come on, Windows. There it goes. I see something is happening. There it is. That was the opposite of fast. Let's get rid of this and this and this and this. And I don't need you and you and you and you. There's 9 of these things in here somewhere. So there's probably one more right there. And then I'm going to resize all of these. Actually, it copies and resizes. 9 items selected. Excellent. We're going to use the power tools. Resize with the image resizer. And there it is. 91 by 91. Resize that. It always gets the names wrong, so we've got to rename them. So we use the Power Toy renamer for that one. And I want you to, so I got to change that into this. All right, now when we pop over here, do a little refresh. Now we've got our pretty thumbnails. Yay. Oh no, wait, that one went amiss. What happened there? My tats are funny. My tats are feeling funny. Let's take a look at what happened to the tights. That didn't get renamed properly. Maybe I just didn't select it or something. So I'm going to just clean that up manually. Do I have a dot there? There's a dot there. I can't see that. That should be good. All right, now we come over here and do a refresh. There's our tights, looking good. Off to the Lego store. Happy shopping, Erumakin. And once again, thanks for that raid, buddy. I really appreciate it. Everybody, if you get a chance, you should hang out with Erumakin. Super cool cat, streams a couple times a day in the morning or early afternoons. You get to hang out and do stuff. Some days, the weather's getting better, so we might be getting IRL streams soon. We get to see what strange things are afoot at the DQ. And then you can come back later at night, or Erumakin does a whole bunch of stuff. He games with his community, makes Legos. There are Kinder eggs usually, so get to see if we get anything useful out of that Kinder egg. You get to hear those wonderful Kinder pops. You get the pop, and then you get the secondary pop. You're really there for the first pop, but the secondary pop is, you got that little. He just wets you with that first pop, and you got to get a little bit more pop in. So, if it works out well, you get that second, just to tide you over. All right. So that's where I am sitting with this. Let's go take a look at where I set off with the. And there's a hard lurk. All right, let's go take a look at the Genesis 9 version. You know what? I'm just going to delete all of this stuff out of here. Yeah. And then we're going to pop back over Genesis 9. We'll get a Genesis 9 in here. Why do I have 8? Because I have not saved an outfit yet. Okay. So let's load a Genesis 9 in here. Let's start seeing what we got to do here. Let's put that up there. Let's see if we put the boots on. That actually looks like it's a good save. Let's see if we got anything that needs to be organized in the boots right now. All right, we got to rename that stuff. I don't have a full body. Oh, I do have an expand all. There's an expand all. Okay. Okay, so we're going to clean that up. Do we have limits? We do not have limits, so we're going to put limits on. I'm going to hide that. And I'm going to see if there's anything in here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's hide this because we don't need to see this morph. So I'm going to set that to be hidden. And I'm also going to just move its category just to go into this hidden over here. And we're going to come back over here. I'm just going to, and we got to go back into edit mode because I got out of edit mode earlier. And we're just going to select all of that, and we're going to set limits on that. Enable limits. You couldn't see that because it went off to the side. And then I'm going to clean these names up, and we're going to save this stuff back out. And I don't need to actually save the boots because they're in a good shape. So we're just going to save these morphs after we clean them up a little bit. So change that so it looks a little nicer. Clean that label up. Clean this label up. Clean the knees up. Just so it says loosen knees and not all this other garbage. I don't even know if I need that. I might end up deleting that one out. I'm not even going to save that loosen knees. That does, actually, does that do anything? That does a little bit. Although apparently I screwed I didn't save it right or something because I thought I did this, but I didn't see it change. Did that work? Okay, that worked. Maybe I accidentally hit cancel because I can't see what I'm doing. Someday I'll see an optometrist and get new glasses. That's not today, though. I think this is good. We're going to save these cleaned up morphs. And I'm probably going to end up deleting a bunch of this stuff out at some point. That is the wrong... Here, we're just going to do it this way. I'm just going to save just the morphs. Actually, I'm just going to click on that and save them all. There we go. Okay, happy boots. Moving along, let's take a look at the tights. So do I need a... See, those seem to fit fine. Let's take a look at where we are with... Okay, so we want to clean that up. Would I have anything hidden in here? See, here's this breast fullness lower morph. Got stuck in the hidden, so we're going to move that to a place that's better suited for it. For some reason, that one just ends up over here instead of where it should be. So what we're going to do is... So where it should be is over here in actor, chest, feminine, with all the other feminine chest morphs. Alright, so that gets moved over there. And then in here, do I have to set limits? Yeah, we got to set our limits. So we're going to do that. Select all of this. And come over to set, actually here, limits. Enable limits. There we go. Okay, then in here, we got some recoloring to do and some renaming to do. So we're going to take care of that. So here we're going to set the colors on all of this to the green black. Set presentation. There we go. And by the way, this is where you would add images and things if you wanted to put those on the dial. Small image and card image. I've never actually done that with what I work with. But if you wanted to, this is the spot where you would do that. All right, those are all set. Let's change the name of this one. And I have loosen mid-drift, weight lower, and waist upper. And I have loosen mid-drift, waist lower, waist upper. I'm not going to rename. I'm going to delete something in here. I think I'm going to delete these. So here, let me save this. We're going to go to the data folder and we're going to delete some Morse out. Because I'm kind of getting some duplicates in here. So there, that is good. And I end up going through and cleaning up the data folders anyhow at some point. But Pulp, Sweetheart, so we're going to head over to the data folders for these. And I am working on the G9 tights G9, there we go. So we're going to come over here and look at these morphs. And I am looking for loosen midriff, loosen waists, and I'm going to lose those. Okay, well since I'm here, we're going to clean out all the stuff I don't need. So we have a bunch of character morphs in here. I don't actually need those because those will just get auto-generated later if somebody uses them. And these haven't been customized at all, so I'm going to get rid of those. I'm going to keep the feminine and the masculine. These are the body shapes that I've probably smoothed out already, so I want to keep those. These are the chest shapes that I have probably customized, so we're keeping those. Expand all, we just renamed these. Will need to be renamed. These, I'm going to keep. These corrective morphs will automatically generate, so I don't need to keep them. Corrective body shapes. These controllers I want to keep. These characters I don't need. So I'm just going to kind of go through here and delete these out. I'm trying to pay attention so I don't accidentally delete something I want to keep, but I don't think there's anything else I want to keep in here. So I don't need any of these character shapes, so we're going to get rid of those. I'm eventually going to go through all of these files and clean them up like that. Alright, now we'll reload the tights in. That was the tunic. That's the tights, and then we'll finish cleaning this up and resave it. So there we go, that's a bit tighter. And I'm going to just rename all of this stuff. I wonder, if there was a nice mass renamer where I could delete all of this, because it's the same stuff. Although I have to keep adding spaces in here, and that's not consistent, so never mind. I guess I kind of have to do each one anyhow. Moving along. Got 2 more to go. One more to go, and then I'm going to save this, and then we can move on. We'll take a look at how the tunic's looking. All right, let's save that stuff out. Modifier asset, base. You know what? I probably only really need to do the adjustments, but you know what? I'm just gonna do this. Did you pick up people again? You probably did, didn't you? No, you're probably all right. You know what? I'm just gonna save the adjustments. Let's just save the adjustments. There we go. Should be good. Yeah, let's take a look at the tunic. This actually looks like it's been cleaned up already. Just to double check. My limits are looking good. Only thing is, I think I'm going to recolor fit gloves. And by default, fit gloves is on. So I think that's probably good. Do I want to really... Or do I want to leave you special? No, I think I'm going to make you green. So we'll change that. Oh, here you can also set up icons and cards for the dials in here as well. And then I'm just going to save that. I think the rest of this is looking good. So in this case, I just want to save that one morph, which was fit gloves. So we're just going to resave fit gloves. All right, let's see how the harness is looking. I think that's fine. Let's take a look at our... you look like you're organized nicely. Oh, these need to be cleaned up. So are you... I do have everything limited to 100, it looks like. So we just want to clean this up and save that. There's a bunch of these. Oh, also I want to check and see. I don't think I added the special morphs to the tunic yet. So we saw them on the Genesis 8 version. If they're not on the Genesis 9 version, we'll add those and then save those out. And for the closed up version, there's only like 4 special morphs we're going to use for that. Because a lot of the special morphs have to do with the jacket being able to be opened. But I still want to be able to have the hanging morphs and the on the ground morphs with the closed versions. I think I call the other ones undone. Okay, I think you got those already named, so we're just going to resave out these adjustment morphs. So I'm just going to come down here and check on that and accept that. And I think this just should all be good. Let's go back to the tunic and take a look. See, I'm not seeing special morphs in here, so we're going to load those. No, there they are. All right, we're going to, oh, there's the special category. They're just not colored. We need to give them the colors. Let's color those and save them. Set the presentation. All right, and those look good. So I do have the other hanging morph, and then the two on the ground morphs. Okay, let's save that out. Let's uncheck that. Let's come over here. I only changed the specials this time, so just going to resave those. All right, let's take a look. I think we're up to gloves now. And I think the only morph I'm going to have in the gloves is probably an expand. Oh, this has a few other loosens in here. Wrist, upper arm. Does that do anything? See, that doesn't do anything. Forearm. See, forearm, fine. Wrist is fine. Expand all does what it's supposed to do. Okay, I see limits aren't on here, so let's fix that. Actually, what's in the hidden? Anything in here that I don't need? Nope, we're good. Okay, back to here. Let's set our limits. So you can't go over 100 on those. And let's clean up these names and save them. And actually there was this upper arm wasn't doing anything, so let's go get rid of that. So back into the data, Starheart Gloves G9, morphs, base. I am looking for loosen upper arms right there. I can't just delete index because if I save it, it doesn't overwrite that and it will just come back. There's probably a way to get rid of that other than having to go into the data directory and kill it. You would think there would be, right? That would almost make sense. Probably a way to do it, and I'm just not familiar with it. I mean, you can do a delete, but like I said, it doesn't actually delete that out of the data directory. So that one we just deleted. So I'm not even going to bother changing that name. That's got a lowercase l. How come? Okay. Going to save those. So basically, I'm going to save everything down in here except for that one right there. And then we're just going to reload this in. Just going to do a quick double check. Looks good. All right, let's see how the helmet is. I'm doing some tweaking on the helmet. So I'm going to match that over here. I'm being a little bit of a slacker on the helmet. I've been having issues with this. I have this collar part, but it's just not playing nice. Actually, the helmet's a little tweaky anyhow. Because the helmet really shouldn't move much. And what I want to do is I want to hide that. So I think I'm going to come into the geometry editor. Let's just do that. You're grouped right. Okay. Also, I'm going to pop into the geometry editor. Tool settings, surfaces. I don't know which one's which. That is not what I'm looking for. That is it right there. I'm going to just make you invisible. I think I'm going to live with the helmet that looks like that. I think I'm just going to resave that. And yes, I know there's a gap there now. That is the wrong button. I'm going to resave the helmet like this. Over that. And then in here. So I'm going to change this to be a wardrobe. headwear, and we'll set the category to be the same thing. All right. I think I've got the full outfit all good to go now. I forgot to save the feet pose when we saved the outfit for Genesis 8, so I have to try to remember to do that. Then we're going to render these thumbs and quickly just get the start of the undone jackets. And then I want to go play with setting up materials for a swimsuit I've been working on. Not that swimsuit. And I'm out of my drink. And my brain stopped. Come over here. Alright, we're going to save. I've got to redo this pose too. Let's resave this pose as a hierarchical pose. So this time I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to select the footsies. So I want to select from here to here, and I want to unselect this and this. And then I'm going to save this as a hierarchical pose preset. And I'm going to overwrite the boots feet pose G9. And what we're going to do is I'm going to uncheck. I'm going to leave the boots checked. Actually, never mind. I don't need those. We're going to just uncheck everything here. I probably don't need all of this other stuff in here. Actually, I should be able to just do this, right? Check only scene selected items. That's what we did before. And then accept that, and it should be good. And now we're going to save this as an outfit. So that's it. So we are saving a wearable preset. And you're going to be Starheart. I gotta make these names consistent. I think I'm going to do Starheart as one word. But right now I've got some inconsistency between doing it as 2 words and 1. So this is going to be exclamation point. Outfit. Do that. Okay, we want to save all of this except for that right there. The eyes. We're not saving the eyes. We're going to save a pose. So we're going to also save the footsies. There we go. All right, let's make the thumbnails. Once this comes back, it's back. Control D. We're going to start with the boots. Same thing we did before. I could almost get away with using the same thumbnails from before. I actually do that for the materials. Let's hide the tights. Let's hide these eyes. And let's hide that Genesis 9. Alright, and then we're just going to start render. I got some stuff covering up chat. Alright, let's save that. Okay, and then we're going to save this over on the Genesis 9 side. And I just did the boots. Also, I'm going to rename. Let's do a little bit of renaming. I'm going to take a quick look at Genesis 8 and see how, just to make sure I'm not causing myself too much heartache. Yeah, these are all inconsistent too. How do I want to say Starheart? Do I want it to be a one? You know what? I think I'm going to make it. It saves a character. So we're going to do this. The DAS renamer renames not only the DUF file, but also the tip file and the thumbnail file. So in a little ways, it's kind of a little easier to do it here. I guess I could use the renamer. And watch me change my name, my maybe I will. You know what? I'm gonna use the 2 words. I changed my mind already. So I'm going to just do it this way. We are going to use the renamer now. I just do that. So I'm going to change star heart into star heart. Uh-oh. You did not put a space in there. Why do you know? Star Heart Hoots. That's a... now I'm just double checking and making sure that all looks good. That's all good. So we're going to capitalize 2 into 2 separate. So we're just going to do this. So let's just go here, select everything, activate the renamer. So the last thing we did should still be good to go. I think this is just going to be fine. Apply that. Close this. Back over into here and refresh. Looks fine. All right. So we rendered and saved that. Let's hide that. Let's bring in the Genesis and let's color that. And I'm out of there. I'll have part of my pop top though. Okay, that is good. Let's do this. Probably good. Yeah, it's close enough. Stop that and save that thumbnail. Save that right there. Okay, I got these 3 done. Let's do the helmet. And actually, I can do that, and then we can come and bring the helmet back in. Somewhere in here says bubble hump. There we go. My feet are getting cold. I'm going to turn my heater on in a minute. Hold on. Also, I'm going to close my door. It's apparently open a little. coming back. I didn't even bother turning the mic off. I'm pretty sure you heard my crotch as it went by. That's the reason I actually turned the camera off. Nobody needs to see my crotch. There we go. Camera is back on. Need my happy flowers. Looks good. Let's save that. You are the helmet. Okay, let's hide the helmet. Let's bring up the gloves. I got the wrong tool. Let's try that. Alright, let's run through the gloves. I got a weird shadow on those. I might try to touch that up later. It seems to be done already, actually. Right, where are we? We're on the harness. I've got the, we're going to not do that. Yes, I want to cancel that. I want to get that harness in frame, the rocket. There we go, that's better. It looks fine. You know what I need? I need just the rocket pack by itself. Can I, what happens if I render you like this? Do I pick up any of the weird lights? No, that looks fine. And I do have default camera on. That means if I undo, I go back to here, hide you, let's bring in the tights. And let's get that tunic rendered. All right, let's browse the folder location and clean these up. Okay, I'm going to delete these and replace them with good copies. So 9 of those. Run the resize. 91 by 91, looking good. And let's rename those properly. So I would replace that with that. Refresh. Looks good. Alrighty. Did I do any hierarchical material presets with these yet? I don't think I did. We'll do those later. I do have some some of those. Those need to be done, and those are my base shaders. They all need to be renamed. I'm just going to call those SH. So let's take care of that right now. And I'm going to replace that 50s Daisy outfit with, I'm just going to say SH and apply, and it should be fine. Refresh is good. There is the default, and default. I think those are good starting points. We're gonna come back to the DForce presets at a later date. All right, let me set up the undone versions of these. So we're gonna export out the tunic. There's a strip or two in here that actually holds it together. So I haven't even hit, let's do this. Let's see what happens. You should you just fell all the way. You're probably good. Okay. And it just probably kept falling forever. There it goes. Let me check I don't even know. I have a default thing saved, which makes me think I may have tweaked these originally. But I'm double checking. I haven't looked at these in so long. My bend stiffnesses are still... So I am going to have to resave these because I haven't even bothered doing the DForce on these. Or did I? There's a default. Right there, default. Do you change anything? That was for the harness. I do have a default, but I am going to have to resave this for Genesis 9. Not to worry. Let's set up the G. Let's do this. We're going to export this out. We're going to make changes to the mesh and bring it back in. Then I'm going to... I've been playing around with... Then we're going to actually fit it. Use the transfer tool to transfer the undone one to the done one. But I think I can actually just replace that and then resave it. So let's try that. And that way it'll just come in automatically with all the morphs, I think. So we're going to select you. We're going to come to General. Mesh Resolution. We are set at base. I got to make sure that when we and you are set off. If I Control-Shift-F that, does that go back on? Yeah, that went back to... But you're still off. Okay, let's save you. And let's save you into the morphs. And we are working on the Genesis 9 version right now. So I'm just going to, you know what? Tunic. G9. And that is a import, not an export. I think maybe, is this it? Save. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm good. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, for this I'm going to need a little bit of Blender. Hey, look at that. Blender's already open. Let's go import that jacket we just saved out. This is, I think it's in Pulp. There's Pulp. Starheart Whip Morphs. Tunic G9, and there's right there. Did I save you with materials? I did. There's a material called attachments, which should be what we want to delete. Let's double check that. Tab in, come over to attachments, select that. So that's basically that little thin strip right there. We're going to just delete that. We're going to delete the faces on that though. It can get tricky sometimes, not going to lie. I have to admit, it has made me cry. All right, I'm going to delete that out of here. So we're just going to delete that. We are deleting the faces. There we go. That should be the undone version, but let's check. So on the done version, that little strip is what holds it all together. And I'm just seeing, do I have anything here in the collar that's holding it together? I don't think so. Did I delete that out? I may have actually deleted that out just now. So we might be good to go. Let's see how this looks. Let's see if this falls apart nicely. And Matthias, welcome, by the way. So F6 is my export. I'm going to come here. I'm going to pop back over into here and see what we are calling you. Sweetheart Tunic G9. And actually, I'm probably going to end up renaming that because I want all this stuff to be consistent. So we're going to copy you. Come over here. Can I paste you in? And type in undone. There we go. And export that. And then we'll pop over here and let's see if this magic works. All right, let's import. Excuse me. Tunic, and there we go. The undone tunic is right there. Open that. Accept. Looks good. Now let's use the transfer tool and see how this works out. So man has to be especially patient while a lot of back and forth. I've got it. I'm gonna admit I have maybe done it once or twice, so at this point I don't think about those so much. DAS is nice because it remembers your import and output or export settings generally, so you usually don't have to go tweaking those. And I do have a preset for DAS on Blender side. So at this point it's no more trying to tweak parameters, it's just I've got them dialed in. And I'm just shuffling OBJs back and forth too. So that's another thing. It's not like I'm trying to send stuff over to Blender with rigging and to do rendering. All right, transfer tool. I'm going to transfer tool this to the other jacket. So we're going to do that. Here we go. We are looking for Starheart Tunic right there. That is my source. The undone, I'm going to use that. I'm going to try this sneaky trick here where we're going to replace the source with the target. I'm not sure if I have to check on anything else, but let's see how this goes. I think the rest of this is going to be fine, so let's just accept that. That didn't seem to quite work out the way I wanted it. Control Shift F. Oh, are you still attached? I might have to do this a couple more times. My buttons did come off though. I was hoping they would stay. Let's take a look at this. You are still attached. How is my Genesis looking? You slid up. Why did you slide up? Oh, I know. I know what happened. I'm not zeroed. I have to zero that. So we got to fix this. I did not save a zeroed figure. That was my problem there. Let's reset that. Let's delete this. Let's get that tunic back in here. My buttons did vanish, so that's probably a good sign. Yeah, it's the old I didn't export from the zeroed figure trick. I'm canceling that. Why are you not? Why did I get that? Oh, that says G8. I'm in the wrong folder. That's why it was saying, hey, do you want to auto-fit me? I was thinking, no, you should fit, but I'm in the wrong folder, so of course it didn't work. There we go. Now I'm going to re-save this. You're at base. Mesh smoothing is off. We're going to just re-export. I'm going to just overwrite that and say yes to that. Pop back over to here. Get rid of this. Re-import. We're going to pop in here and clean out that little strip like we did before. Of course, now, you know, I'm going to close Blender down because now Blender's adding these extra numbers in here. Going, hey, I saw this material before, and I'm pretty sure you're not it, so I'm going to rename you. She looked like a shrunken head on a hinges. It did look a little weird when that jacket popped up there, didn't it? All right, let's see. Should be good. I don't need default cube. Okay, now what we want to do is select attachments. See, I got a couple of them up here in the collar too, don't I? Switch over to faces, delete those, and then I should be able to save this back out. Use your DAZ operator presets, Chris. And we're going to overwrite that. And now we should. Let's see how this goes. Okay, import. Use the transfer tool. I think I was on the right track. I just did it in the wrong. There to start. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to put this on that. There is no template, but I am going to do that. We're going to swap out and accept that. And I think I'm good. And my surfaces all get, I think, did I lose my D4 settings? Did this get reset? I think these might not have been set anyhow. Are my buttons in the right spot? Let's test some stuff and see if I have to redo these buttons or not. I do not have to redo my buttons. Yay. It's coming apart. Yay. I think this is going to work. I'm going to throw the D-Force default setting on here. Change the material zone. Going to have to warn you, you're trying to stay awake, but probably going to fall asleep here. Well, thanks for being here, Charles. I appreciate it, man. Always a pleasure to have you for whatever waking hours you can devote to stream. All right, let's clear that. Let's set up these materials, and then I'm just going to save this out. Also, did my morphs come over? My morphs came over. Look at that. I don't have to redo my morphs. I think, yay. So this is basically good to go. Where is it? Why don't I have my adjust back? Fit gloves. Fit gloves is actually dialed in already. Okay, I'm just going to, we're going to put our materials on. We're going to save this, and then we're just going to do the same thing for the undone version on Genesis. Actually, we're going to do a quick test. Then we're going to do it the same thing for G8. So actually, I'm going to slide back here because I have my my material files are over in here. There is the tunic brown, so we're going to set up the tunic to be brown. I'm going to come here to my D-Force presets. I had the foresight to save my default settings there. Now we're good to go. So I'm going to save you. Actually, there's a couple of other things. Is my mesh resolution? I need to set that, and then we have to add that mesh smoothing. So we're going to redo the mesh smoothing. Let's do those before we save them. Edit, geometry, remove the smoothing modifier, and then I'm going to put it back. Add the smoothing modifier. Also, convert to sub D. Should be good. I'm going to memorize this. And then I'm going to save that. And we should be fine. And then we'll do a quick test to see how this D-forces without that harness on there. It seems to be being fine. Anyhow, here we go. You are being saved as a figure or prop support asset. I am in the Genesis 8 folder, so let's go over to Genesis 9. I am saving the tunic. Star Heart Tunic G9. It's kind of like a dress. I don't actually have a tunic option, so I'm calling you a dress. Let's face it, that's how Sarah's going to wear it anyhow, without the tights. And she's going to try to figure out a way to get those sleeves off. Alright, so let's hide this. And let's just run that salmon. Ideally, this should just fall away. Although it has some settings that might hold it in place. But let's see how this goes. Also, it's going to be trapped under the helmet, so let me hide the helmet too. And make sure that collar falls apart. So it should separate at the collar. Looks like it might have got stuck, but let me see. I'm going to cancel that. We're going to tweak our dynamic settings, because I think my collar settings are a little stiff and just not letting it fall apart. Yeah, my collars are a little on the stiff side, so that's set at like a 0.5. I'm going to set that to 1, and now we should see that collar come apart. Just like that. Looking good. You're going to have to rearrange these buttons when this gets done. Because that's just the way they're going to go. The buttons are designed not to simulate. So buttons are one of those things that will cause simulations to explode. So we have these not visible in the simulation, but it does mean you kind of have to get in there and tweak them a little bit after each simulation so they don't look so janky. Something like this, I don't know. Just so it looks a little better, I suppose. Anyhow, that seems to be fine. I'm happy with that. I should render a copy of this. So let's do that. Now that we've saved. And let's hide everything else. And you still probably say Tunic, don't you? You do. I'm going to rename you. And resave. You should say Tunic Undone. Did I overwrite my other Tunic? I think I might have. Damn it. I did overwrite the, I'll have to fix that. We might be able to fix it. I can just do the same thing. Did I put a space in there? There's that space. All right, let's try to resave this. Did I just do the right thing? I did. I bet you I did overwrite the, I did. I'm going to have to fix that. I meant to do this. So I might still have a good copy in the outfit. We'll see what how that loads up. And then I might be able to just resave that. What am I looking for? Dresses. There we go. And I'm going to call you Starheart Tunic Undone. And I'm going to capitalize you correctly this time. And I think this should be good. And I think I'm going to accept that. And I think I'm going to just render this real quick. I'm going to need to save it with the buttons though. So that one goes right there. And actually I need to save you as a wearable preset so I can save the buttons. All right, uncheck all. And right here, I'm just going to check on that. And that should have all my button settings in there, so we should be able to save that. Should have overwritten that, I hope. It now says wardrobe, so that looks good. Let's do this. Get rid of that. I'm going to just take a quick look at how this is. Yep, I broke it. I done broke it good. So I have to rebuild the base jacket again, which shouldn't be that hard as long as I don't accidentally overwrite the undone version. I'm going to get rid of you. And this is just the outfit. So let's just get rid of all of this. Let's do that. Okay, you are the broken one. You don't have buttons because I didn't save you right. Okay, I do have a good version of this. We saved it over here. So let's import that. That is that right there. That is a good version. I'm just going to double check my surfaces on that. I might have to adjust. I've got the wrong thing selected. Attachments is still there. All right, let's try this. Let's see if I can do it this time without screwing things up. All right, activate transfer tool. Select an item. Tunic undone. Select another item. Tunic. More. Replace source with target. Accept that. Okay, should be good. This time before I screw things up, I'm going to save this over the base tunic. That's the wrong button. This says Genesis 9. There is the base tunic right there. I'm going to say yes. Product name. You are now going to be Tunic G9. Category dress. So hopefully I'm not overwriting. And I want to just test. I think that looks like it worked. Okay, so do I still have the attachments material? I do. Okay, so let's put our materials on here and resave it. So there's that tunic brown. There's my D-Force settings. Okay, now I'm going to save this as a wearable preset so we can save it back with the buttons. And I'm going to overwrite this one right here. Wearable preset. I'm overwriting tunic. Save. Or exists. Do you want to replace it? I think yes is the right thing. I don't want to save those eyes. I do want to save all of that and accept. All right, let's see how this goes. Let's see if I've screwed up a second time, or if I actually have two good versions now. Okay, this should be the fixed version. Let's run the sim, and ideally this shouldn't open up. It should just hold together, right? Looking good. This one should fall apart. So that should come apart. There we go. All right, we have our two versions saved properly now. Yay! I accidentally broke one, but I was able to fix it. All right, now we're just going to do this for Genesis 8, and I'm probably out of time. I'm not getting to texturing that swimsuit today because I screwed around with this too much. So this is what I'm going to use to make special morphs with, you know, where they'll open up and stuff. Yeah. So I might make those tomorrow. Anyhow, we'll see. I think I just have to update a thumbnail in here, so we'll do that. Right here, that's the crappy thumbnail. We're going to replace it with a good thumbnail. And these do look identical. Don't even know why I'm doing this. Hey, thanks, Matthias. Appreciate that. Let's get this renamed. So I'm gonna. So this just needs to say .duff, and I don't need that. So there's the thumbnail for that one. Refresh. All right, looks good. I'm done. Done. I don't need you anymore. Let's get into Genesis 8 in here. And I'm out of... All right, hello, Genesis 8. Let's see if we can do this for Genesis 8 without screwing up too much. All right, there is the tunic. Get that in here. So I got to save this out and remove that attachment. So we're going to do that. So set the mesh resolution back to base. Turn off the smoothing. Export this. I'm going to put this into its own folder here. Tunic G8F. Save that. Looks good. All right. So we'll pop over in the blender. I don't need you anymore. We're going to grab this one right here. And then we're just going to pop in here and get rid of that little strip that's holding it all together. Oh no, it did the thing with the things. I'm going to relaunch Blender. Oops, that's Daz. Are you my Blender? There's my Blender. No, I'm not going to save you. So did you all see Flow? Pretty good movie. Academy Award winning, Blender made animation. All right, do that. Come over to here. I love this fact that Blender remembers the recents. All right, now I should have my good names. Yep, selecting that. Let's switch over to face mode. Let's get rid of these faces. Okay, it now should be detachable. So I'm going to export. And what am I calling this again? I forget. Let's do this. I'm going to grab that, but I'm going to save it over here. I'm going to change that to 8F. And we're going to check that. It should be good. All right, same drill as before. Import the G8F undone tunic. Looking good. Then we are going to use the transfer tool. And I'm going to use this tunic here as the source, this tunic here as the target, and then we're just going to do the replace source with target magic and accept that. Should be good. Let's take a look. Looks fine. Okay, let's tweak. I always keep forgetting to tweak. I'm going to tweak this name. And also we're going to tunic undone, G8 female undone. Okay. A couple more things. We're going to put our materials on here. going to use the default brown. I'm going to put the default D-force on here. Let's do a quick D-force check. Okay, so the collar's still a little stiff, so it's not falling out. So let's fix that. I'm going to just set that to 1. Let's check that again. There we go. That's what the open version should do. Yeah, my buttons are all over the place. What you going to do? Okay, now we're going to save this, but not over. This time, I'm paying attention. I would not save over the original. I will not save over the original. If I do that too many times, I'm just going to save over the original anyhow. This time I'm going to remember to say undone. And then in here, we're going to remember to say undone. Right here. This is the very important part right here. Because this is the name that gets saved into the data folder. And if that gets screwed up, and that's how I overwrote it last time, because I forgot to change that. Okay, we should be good this time. Where did I just save? I bet you I just saved you over. Over in here somewhere. Yeah, I saved you over here. But not to worry. I didn't name it the same as the other one, so we're good. I'm going to cut you. We're going to move you. And we're going to paste you, and then I'm going to rename you. And you just need to say 8 female. And I think that should be good. I'm going to hide this. And then we're going to bring you in. And you came in without the buttons, that's right. That's why I didn't delete the other one. Okay, I think I'm good. I think I just need to save this as a wearable preset now, and I should be good. G8 female undone. This should be fine. And then I'm going to touch up the thumbnail there. So let's just double check. I'm going to hide you. I'm going to reload you just to make sure you're still good. I'm just going to put this, I hate Verizon. What did Verizon do to you now? Alright, that's looking fine. I think I can just safely get rid of that. Let's check this one. Let's sim that. Hopefully it comes apart like it's supposed to. So I think we're doing good there. You will need to adjust these buttons after posing and simulating. Alright, I think I'm good. I'm going to just render this thumbnail here. And actually I got a little bit of time left, so I can take a look at put materials on the other swimsuit. I'm going to go a little crazy on materials on that one. Like Chris doesn't go that crazy with materials. I upgraded your daughter's plan to ultimate, etc. She's at 54 gigabyte hotspot and 10 days left on the billing cycle. And there's no higher plan. She'll be out. Ruh-roh. Am I rendering? I'm rendering. I'm saving. Over here. Overwriting that one. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. Convert you to teeny. Resize or rename. I won't lie, 4G, 5G sucked out of Chatham City worse than dial-up. No, not that dial-up sound. I lived with that for decades. All right. I think that's what I'm going to do with this outfit for today. I'm fairly happy with how this is looking. My next step on this is to... What do we still have to do? We still have to make the hierarchical materials. I still have to do all the D4 settings. We have the defaults saved, but we got to make the full versions and the off versions, and we got to render thumbnails for all of that. And I have to make special morphs for these versions that open. So that still has to be done for this outfit. So I'm back on the ball with this. I should have this done. I'm probably going to crank out maybe 3 outfits in the next 2 weeks with what I've got lined up. April will probably be, or May will probably be a good month. I don't know. We'll see how that works out. Anyhow, I've got another swimsuit I've been working on. Probably won't sell great, but I like it. So let's, I'm going to hit save on this. We're going to come over here, and I'm just going to do a new, and we're going to just pop that open, and we're going to work out of this. I thought that sound, was there a dial-up sound, or just the remembering the dial-up sound? Charles might have fallen asleep. We're not sure. So we don't actually, which is fine. Charles needs his beauty rest. Charles does not get that beautiful looking without that beauty rest. All right, let's go take a look at this other swimsuit I'm working on. Almost as annoying as you got mail. Did you have it? I had AOL in the day. I am familiar with that sound. Have I started? Where am I with this thing? Did I do the special morphs on this? I think I might even got the special morphs done on this. Let's see. Let's see where we are. This is the other swimsuit I've been working on off stream while we've been working on the sporty swimsuit on stream. This is my ode to too many. Oh, I broke my colors. Oh well. That's okay. That's fine. This is my ode to too many surfaces. I have 35, 36, 37. 37 plus 40 is 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 93. 93 surfaces too many. Probably. The tester's probably going to look at that and go, what the fuck? Dude, why? It's because each of these stripes is a separate surface. That's what I did. So where was I with this? Did I did not do special morphs on this yet. I have not cleaned these up yet, so this is still a ways to go. But today I want to play around with setting up materials on this. And I'm trying to decide, there's like a zone in here that I'm going to make opaque, and then a lot of this is going to be somewhat transparent on the front and the back. So let's set this up with a, oh here, let's put a base shader on here. Actually, did I already have a base shader on here? I may not want. Yeah, no, this is good. This is fine. Let's put some materials on here. Let's go find my materials, and we'll just play with this for a little while, and then we'll call it a day and find somebody to raid in about 20 minutes. Projects, and this is over on the beach, and I'm calling this Synth Swim. Synth swimsuit. There we go. Let's come down here in the runtimes, textures, and in here, Andrea and Supreme Doom are on. Oh, cool. We could go say hi to Andrea. Let's do black and gold to start with. Let me do that. So metalist, yeah, I'm going to do this with a, I have a jersey spandex. Let's do spandex black. So my spandex metallic is black. So you know what? We're going to put you down there. I'm not going to use that, so we're going to delete that off. My spandex opacity, let's add that to down here somewhere. Right there. I have my displacement map already on. So yeah, on that. Let's put a spandex black base color to start with. So let's switch that. Let's put that right there. Let's see, what do we got for... Did I have a height map already set up in here? I did not. There's the base bump map, so let's put that right there. There is the spandex normal map. Let's put you right in here, and my bump map didn't stay, so let's try that again. Okay, that is good. I think I'm going to do metallic trim, so let's come back down to here to the trims. Did I have a metallic set up? I saw something that looked like a metallic color. You totally look like a metallic. So I probably have some metallics in here somewhere. Jersey yellow, lace, metallic gold. Here we go. Just going to dial that up. Drop the metallicity map in there. Add this color map. We're going to put that into the base color channel here. Oops, I put you into the wrong channel, didn't I? There we go. Where's our metallic roughness? Why do I not have a metallic roughness? Metallic. Did I lose my metallic roughness? Ruh-roh. Let's take a look and see if I can find it. Metallic roughness. Simp swimsuit. You are in there somewhere. I just can't see you. Oh, there it is. I see it now. There's our metallic roughness. So you're going to come right into here. And I'm going to crank that up like that. And then I'm going to make this nice and plastic shiny. And I'm going to put a little band there and a band there. And I think we're going to make these look plastic shiny. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it there and there. Alrighty, then I want to take from here to here. So these here, I'm going to change the settings on that. And I think I'm going to just make that, you know what, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to customize this. So I'm just going to put my base matte on there, but we're going to make it shiny. So I'm going to take the glossy roughness and dial that way. I'm going to put my displacement map back on. I got the right one. I got the right one. Excellent. Let's do that. And I'm going to change that color. Do I want to do dark gray? I think we're going to do dark gray. And I'm going to put a some opacity on that. I think I'm just going to set that to, what if we do just 50? I think we'll try that. And then I'm going to just copy this. Then we're just going to select that right there. Come all the way down to this one, way down here, and paste that in. Oops, I went too far. I want to come from here down to here. Oops, that didn't go. You're not. You're being a butt. Don't be a butt. And then I'm going to do all the back. Then we're just going to do the whole back panel the kind of same way. So we're coming up here where it says back. Ah, Stimpy, you fool. Why? It's because I want flexibility on coloring these all different. Not that I'm actually going to do all of that. And then I'm just going to take a look at how this looks when we render it. So I should get this nice bumpy front. Kind of like that is what I was going for. I got a really weird metallic finish on my spandex though. And I've got and I got depth of field going, so let's turn off depth of field and let's play with this. You want to cancel the render? Yes, let's do that. Let's come back into, let's go to camera. Let's come up here. Default. I'm going to turn the depth of field off. Okay, for some reason these aren't coming in black like they're supposed to. They're looking, my spandex is looking weird. So let's take a look at what my metallicity is 0, my base color is that. My roughness, there's my problem. My roughness isn't set. Let's fix that. I need my spandex roughness map, which should be close to white. Do I have a spandex roughness map? Right there. Let's use that. I'm looking for my roughness channel. There it is. That did not work. Let's try that again. That still did not work. The gods are laughing at me today. Damn you. All right. I'm going to switch IRA on and then just try to tweak these. It still is looking weirdly shiny, isn't it? I have to reevaluate the maps on my spandex. What's going on here? I always get the feeling it's this weird glossy roughness, but do I have some sort of top coat going on here by any chance? You know, I do have a top coat weight on here for some reason, and I don't know why. Let's just reset this thing. Well, you know what? I probably applied my silk shader earlier to it, so that probably wasn't a good idea. Let's do this, and then let's reset this up. So, got that black base color. For the spandex, there is no metallicity. For the spandex, we have that roughness map right there. I got a base bump map right there. We have our normal map right there. I've got my displacement map. It's here. And we do have an opacity map for the spandex. I think I want to make that darker. My black is looking too gray. I think we'll tweak that black color just a little bit. And I forgot what I'm doing. Spandex opacity. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to adjust this. Maybe we can get these to be shinier. I don't know. The gold's looking fine. So I think I do want to adjust this color here. Let's go take that over into Photoshop and just make it darker. Dum dum dum. Open with P-Shop. There we go. And let me kind of zoom in. Nope, you don't want me to zoom in. All right, let's adjust that. Let's take a look at Zcavs. Is it Control M? Is that what I'm looking for? Yep. Yes, sir, Bob. That is becoming lighter. That is becoming darker. I think I'm going to do that, and I think I'm going to push that to be a little, that might work a little better. Let's try that. Control S. Let me save. I'm going to leave Photoshop open just in case I want to undo that in a panic. And then maybe refresh, because that looks like it didn't do anything. Did you get darker, boss? There we go. That updated. That did not. You know, my spandex is still a little shinier than I like. So I think maybe we'll go in and tweak the roughness map on that. Right in here. I'm going to make this lighter, I think. Dum dum dum. There it is. Let's tweak, let's adjust that. Open with, and let me see if we can zoom in. You can kind of see it here. So I think we're going to slide that to be a little lighter so it has less sheen on it. Control, is it Control M again? Yes, sir. And I'm just going to maybe tweak that curve kind of like that. Maybe bring you a little, and then maybe I'll see how that works. I think that updated. Yeah, I like that. All right, we're going to go with that. That's my spandex settings. So let's copy that. I'm going to paste that into here, 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 and here. And also, this is a separate surface over here. Likewise, get a little boogie in that butt. And paste. And I'm going to do one other thing. I've got an alternate displacement map. So I'm going to swap this out with the alternate displacement map and see how that looks without the ribs. So if I use this displacement map here, this will be smooth. Yeah, I like that. I might want to round these a little bit, so I think we might tweak the displacement map on this to make yet another version. But let's try, I'm going to try to tweak the settings on that glossy roughness. Well, you know what? Those weren't tweaked. I want those to look kind of shiny plastic. And I'm not really getting that. Maybe we'll add a little metallicity to that. I don't know. That's looking different than this. And I'm not sure why. See, that's looking a little different from this too. Yeah, kind of like carbon fiber. I'm going to tweak the displacement map on this one. See if I can get that to be a little rounder or something. Projects, beach party, SynthSwim, whip folder. There should be a Photoshop file in here, right there. Open MIT, open with Photoshop. Okay, I'm looking at it right there. If I turn you off, turn you on, there it is. There's a little bit of garbage over there. that cleans up that garbage. That's a little... Is that what I want? Maybe. Kind of like that. So I think I'm going to tweak this and this. So I'm going to adjust this inner glow here to maybe be a bit more like that. What does that say? 18. And let me save that, and then file, save as a cap A, and I'm going to overwrite the, I went the wrong way. I'm going to overwrite that. And let's take a look. And let's refresh this and see if we can, if it looks a little more rounder. Oh, it's refreshing. It did it on its own. Ooh, I like that better. I like that a lot better. Also, what if... You know what? I think maybe I'm going to tweak. Let's make that a little less opaque. Also, I've got some weird... I'm going to select you and I'm going to tweak some stuff on you. And then we'll paste that onto the others. I'm actually going to adjust the displacement to be maybe a little higher than normal. And also, I think we're going to lower the cutout opacity, or increase the opacity. Maybe we try 8. And I think I'm going to switch that color to just black. Black, yeah. I think maybe something like that. And maybe a little more opaque now. Anyhow, let's copy this. Let's run these through here. Which one are you? There we go. And then paste. And I think I'm going to maybe make it a little less opaque. Yeah, let's try 7. I'm kind of going for that sort of Barbarella outfit look in a little ways. And I think that's going to do the trick right there. I like that. So I think I'm going to copy one of these, apply them to the others. We're going to save this out and call it a day. Copy that. I'm going to paste those through here. Oops. And then I'm going to just do the backs. And then I want to, why are you, I thought I copied you onto these, but it didn't look like it. I'm going to reset these. I think we'll try that. Where am I? That, and that, and that, and this, and that. And I'm just going to do a base reset on those. And then I'm just going to copy this one and repaste them. Now I've got my displacement map back in there, but that's fine. Actually, do I have you guys still selected over here? I do not. Let's use that. And I'm going to paste that there. And paste that there. Paste it into the spot in the back. Paste there. Should be, and I'm going to go with this. I think so. I got one down. A bunch more of these material sets to do. It's going to look kind of like that. All right, let's save you over here. You're going to be black and gold. And you know what we don't do? We don't name anything SS. Because that would be bad. SYN. That's the code I'm using. SYN. So I'm going to do plus material preset, synth suit, black and gold. Don't use the ampersand because Dad's told me to stop doing that. Do that. I'm just going to uncheck all simulation settings and accept that. And we're going to go over and say hi to Andrea now. Thank you all for being here. Let me open up the stuff here. Twitch. Let's open that up and make sure Andrea is indeed on. There we go. Chris, Twitch, things. Lead the raid. Where are we going to lead the raid to? Snow bunnies? Oh, Andrea. Yes, Andrea. Yes, let's do that. Andrea, NO Art is where we are heading today. She is a marvelous graphite artist. I think, is it graphite? Is it charcoal? Morning streams are back. Let's go. Anyhow, sorry, we just missed the cat. Let's nobody know we say hi. So let's do this. Thank you for everybody who popped in on YouTube, and thank you for everybody on Twitch. We will be back tonight. It's the Saturday Night Social, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. It's an art share. It's a Discord chat. It's an old cartoon. Feel free to join the Discord and post your artwork in the gallery if you want to share it tonight. That would be super cool. Anyhow, after that, we will be back Monday for more general 3D stuff. We'll see what I'm up to. Anyhow, so let's do this. Let's get ready to go over and say hi to Andrea. Here, we have raid calls. If you're not a subscriber, feel free to use that. Sorry, YouTube, you can't join us, but if you are a subscriber, you can do that. And let me start this raid. Andrea No Art, thank you all for being here. Cheap viewers, fuck you. My viewers are the best. You could have at least complimented my viewers before I ban your ass. But no, you had to come in here and call my viewers cheap. Where am I doing? Is that the raid? Raid has been started already. Let me come over here. Let me see. There, I'm banning a bot. Bot has been properly banned. All right. That's right, thrifty. We're not cheap, we're thrifty. All right, thanks everybody for being here. Let's get this raid on the road. And I'm going to copy my raid call. Did I freeze over on YouTube? I can't tell. I look like I'm frozen on Twitch. Control C. And anyhow, thank you all for being here. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. for the Saturday Night Social. Hasta la vista, baby.